Yes, people, gonna add Warriors MA. We're with Warriors MA today, based in Slough sides. I've done a live with him before. We'll talk about Gurdwara safety and civil war and stuff like that. And we're on like these Warrior MAs guys, they're like well versed. Yeah, bruv, send me a request if you can, brother. I see you joined. Send me a video request. Can I get you on? No, I don't know how to do that. Warriors MA, send me a request, brother. Yeah, so me and Bargy been talking behind the scenes.
Okay, cool. How's it going, man? How's things? Good?
Normally, bro, it takes ages to log
I
in, bro.
know,
That means that
I know.
Insta's recognizing my flow. They know that.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
that's
grown.
good. That's good, man. It's upgrading. They know what's
Well,
happening, which is good.
nah. So just explain the show to the audience. And, we're going to leave this video up because I think it's going to be a very, very important video. It's going to plant some seeds. It's going to get people thinking. Whether they act on it or not is one thing, but we need to the universe, we need to get this message out there. Going, look, if something does happen, zombies come or law and order breaks down, the ideas will be floating in the head. It won't be like, what should we do now? People would have heard this conversation. They would have thought about it, spoke to other people about it. And that's the idea of this conversation. We're not saying everyone go and implement everything that we're going to talk about today, tomorrow in the Gurdwara. But we are saying that this needs to be in your ear. This needs to be circulating around. Just like Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj gave the Hukamnama Tyar Par Tyar all them years ago, and it's been circulating around in the universe. And the things that listen to the Hukamnama, they are Tyar Par Tyar, and when they do get into an incident, they are not walkovers. And the ones that don't listen to what Maharaj put in the universe, or they freeze, and then the bug comes off, and they get licked, and they go to the police, and they cry, and sometimes justice, what CCTV can catch people now, but when we grew up, what justice, eh? The same person will
Yeah,
see you
definitely.
and beat you up again, and still we don't know who the name is, and you know what I mean? So, Tyar Par Tyar is in spirituality, it's in physical health, it's in martial arts, it's in shastras, it's in Gurdwara, raising the kids, your job, your work. Tyar Par Tyar is something that the Guru taught us. And what type of Guru are we talking about? Who slept with a Nangi Talwar? When Hitman came to do him, he beheaded one of them on the spot. That is the definition of Tyar Par Tyar. These are whose sons we are. And when we look at the Gurdwara, after Guru Har Gobind Sahib, the Gurdwara were forts. When you go to Punjab, any Gurdwara after Guru Har Gobind Sahib, you will see how it's designed. It's got arrow places, tower places, the way it's been built, the architecture is the next level. Like, it's crazy. So
Yeah,
the
a
gurus
lot
are,
more militarized
yeah.
fortifications. And,
So
and then building on that is like that
yeah,
Tyar Par Tyar attitude hasn't
yeah,
just come from, the sixth Guru or the 10th Guru. It's been
yeah,
there since, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he had to deal with Babbar and his gang when they came through. So,
100%.
so everything we're going through here today is just an update. It's nothing new. It's always
Update.
been out there. It's whether or not we needed these measures. Clearly now, with the way times are, we do need these measures in. Like the first time when I created this back in 2018, right? I tried rolling it out then. No one wanted to know. It's like, mate, you're delusional. We're not in that state. It's like, okay, that's fine. The bunch wasn't ready for it. The universe wasn't ready for it. Now
Nah,
we don't know what's going on with everything, and it is very unpredictable with everything. And then it's all sicky related, and we've all got a part to play. We're not all soldiers. We're not all philosophers. We're not all gunnies. We're a mix, and
yeah,
that's the best way a team, a unit works. A football team isn't built on everyone being super fast or being a best striker. They may have one, two best strikers, a couple of good defenders, one keeper. Maybe two keepers if they're lucky that are actually worthwhile of switching on and off the bench. So everyone's got their role to play. This isn't about being big, strong, fast, crazy. This fun, things like this or fun, things like that. It's what are you good at? Where can you utilize your skills, and how can you utilize the skills to the front as well?
Just to build up on that. So most of us have had a cozy life. Our parents have made a lot of money. There's 3, 4 Gurdwara, the big, £1 million houses. You go Park or Warsaw, you go to these rich areas up and it's like mini Canada. Nice Land Rovers, Gurdwara, cozy, got to Baini. And like you said, we're not all soldiers, whatever, but we're all civilians. But when it's civil war, no one's a civilian then, mate. Everyone's fair game. So
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can hide all you want. Sometimes there's no running or hiding. So today's talk, you said you rolled it out. So what did you just tell the Sangha what you meant by rolling out? Because we know what we're talking about. They might not know what you're talking about.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back in, I think it's 2017, 2018, 18 definitely. Maybe I did it end of 2017 when I'm looking at my documents. But literally, I created a presentation. I did a few workshops for Gurdwara in that year, and I was like, what's your security like? What sort of measures are you taking? Because this is before, too much. There was still Biddi going on. People going to Gurdwara, Barin, Maharaj, and all these sorts of things. Right? So, what's going on? What are you? The security you got, are they actually legit? Um, you know, they weren't forced to have like a SIA badge, but they'll just have security on their high vis. Do they actually know CNR protocols like control and restrain? Do they know de-escalation? How would you handle things in this sort of scenario? And how readily available are people to come to the venue at any hour of the day? How many people can be rallied quickly if in an event? And this sort of event could have been anything. It could have been deliberate or accidental. Yeah, so we're just not talking about people. We just general stuff. Even like fire, first aid, all these sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
So that's what that was. And then it didn't really take off. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll move on to my next project, which is fine. With that, and then now we've come. We're rolling up 7 years later. It's just like, oh, okay, you know what? This is a little bit more relevant now, and that's where we're going to take it today.
Bro, the one thing with Arcom is very reactive. It's not preventative.
Yes.
And got then we wake up for a bit. Then we're like, yeah, we've got to do this, got to do that. And then we go back to sleep. Then then wake up. Every time something happens, there's a big emergency meeting.
It's going on. There are late emergency
They have this meeting. A week later, everyone's watching Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, Maine Pyar Kiya again. Yeah, back to normal life, school runs, this, that. Then another thing happens. Quick, emergency meeting.
Yes.
Bruv, this is like oscillating. Like you're not gonna. If you look at the Jewish community, the Muslim community, this, that, they do these meetings. They have a fansla. They build on it. And up in it go, man. We're just so much into the Maya. We've got it too easy, innit? Sometimes you got to
believe so. Yeah, we are. We've got a lot because look at our history. We're in a very peaceful time. We're not being really headhunted. We don't have to worry about things. You're sicky or so. Don't worry about doing your part. You can do that tomorrow. Listen, worry about your exam or worry about your job, and so. So it is. It is, and it's like I appreciate being on here again. It's the second time with you. A couple of days ago, I pinged you over a PDF. So anyone who's watching, there's a PDF that is accompanying this live podcast or live stream, whatever we're calling this, and it goes through the strategies that we're going through here. It's also got a number of drills as well, so you can take it. As Mal said before, whatever you do with this information is up to you. At the end of the day. We're not here to tell you, what's going on. You have to do this. This is information for information. Something may be real, something may be fantasy. Whatever comes out, comes out. We are here, I speak to Mal offline as well, so we do have our own little inside jokes. We might say something like that. But it is. So should we get it rolling?
Yeah. Before we get rolling, I'm just gonna say, when I grew up, in the 80s and 90s, every Gurdwara had them, them little grills, because Gurdwara were under attack in the UK as well.
Yeah,
Petrol
bombing to smash them, all the time.
Smash them, petrol bomb them, this and that. So it's only about early 2000s when I saw that the grills had come off. because times had got easier
Yeah,
and
and the
Gurdwara
barbed wire
was more
down.
acceptable. Yeah, and
Yeah,
like now I was thinking, so East Ham Rosebery was attacked a few times, window smashed, arson attacks. But then the Sings used to keep the milk bottles and a generator and petrol there as well, so they could throw some back as well. So I've experienced a bit, seen a bit of preparation. The elderly, they had to deal with matters head on, face on. So
yes,
Gurdwara have been attacked in the UK. We just had a couple,
yeah,
Nuneaton, Derby Gurdwara, a single knife man went in about 2 years ago or something like that. Lucky the Gyani shut the doors or whatever, and he didn't get to stab anyone. It was just a racial attack because of what was happening somewhere in Iraq or something like that, or Kashmir, I think. Yeah, so yeah, bro. Obviously, you're gonna run the majority of this live. I'll put my input in where I can, but yeah, we're just gonna cover safety in the Gurdwara. If civil war happened, zombies came, or whatever happened. What role does the Gurdwara play? How can we start preparing now? How can the Gurdwara adapt? How can the Sanghat's state of mind be altered to be preventive instead of reactive? Because if tomorrow it all kicked off, marge, lotke, kithe jaye, no atta in the Gurdwara, there's no hockey sticks to play hockey. You know what I mean? So we got to think about all this sort of stuff. So Bargie's like, he's been thinking about it for years. My man come in 2018 tried to roll this out before. This is what's called preventative. And this is what the Guru taught us. They are preventative, smart strategy, not just good at economics and accountants. It's about well-being, safety. It's just like looking after humanity. Look after God, Warrior, the hub, source of spiritual power, source of food. Deg fate. The castes of forged used to live there. But people used to sit on a Shansad. Hindu women used to be getting picked up and raped. The Hindu people used to come there. The castes used to ride out on the horses, kill the Mughals, take the woman back, and give it back to the husband. And sometimes the husband didn't want them back, or the women were ashamed, and then they married the Singhs. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of history. We're on it so much. We've got money. We've got cozy, and we've let our guard down. And people are shitting it. People are going into martial arts again. I mean, your business must be booming. Speaking to other lads, their business is booming. You know what I mean? Gurdwara opening up martial arts for women, this and that, God Paiya. And unfortunately, we shouldn't have to get beats to beat the art, but this is Maharaj's hukam. We don't listen to the hukam. When we don't listen to the hukam, God Pendiya. So I'll take it to you, bro.
okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool. So thank you very much. That's
yeah,
nice to hear.
yeah.
With that, so I've got my notes up as well.
No,
I've
you
got the
have to.
PDF up as well.
Yeah, wicked.
So I did ping out the PDF to a number of WhatsApp groups as well. So if you can download it, you got it there. We'll go through that as well. So with this just isn't about the Gurdwara, but also about your home.
No, 100%.
Everything that we do at the Gurdwara, we can do at home and home at the Gurdwara as well. And this is where I'm going to start off with. Uh, if the trustees and committee members of your local Gurdwara are living in a nice detached house with good fencing, good security gates, or they don't need gates or fences because they're living in such a nice community like that, then that same level of duty and care should be taken towards the Gurdwara they are entrusted with. So if your Gurdwara doesn't have these sorts of measures in, but the committee does, right, in their own personal life, it's like, okay, what's going on there? However, this is not a shot at them.
Mm,
Even with that, they built this current system that we are living in. We are only standing on their shoulders. They built it from scratch. They've been here. They went through everything. As you said, when they was going through the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even to that early 2000s of, Gurdwara still getting hit by those sorts of things. They built the current systems with the tools and methods they were given. And those methods and those protocols need to be updated now.
mm,
However, old habits die hard, right? And some people, they come in and they just pick up the same habit. And so it's like, how then do we have to stop that? So expect there to be resistance. This is why, it's great that we said at the beginning, whether this gets rolled out, doesn't really bother us. We're having a conversation
No, you've
with
done your
that.
duty. You've done your duty. In life, you can only tell your kids, Badalik, do this, do this. If they don't do it, what can you do, bro? You've
Yeah,
done your duty. The rest is their karma, their life. You can say, I told you so. Now we can say to the punt, we told you so. Simple as that.
yeah, definitely. So what this podcast is not. It's not a survival strategy for collecting water, storage, or purification. It's not about creating a Gurdwara into a stronghold due to the zombie apocalypse or anything like that. If you want to ask those questions, I'm more than happy to answer them as well. If you got anything, boom, put them into the chat. We'd love to hear some of that. You know, you're in that sort of zombie apocalypse sort of lifestyle, you know, where for some weird reason, the Ganyas who live in the Gurdwara went clay shooting every Friday, and they happen to have their shotguns and munitions stored within the Gurdwara. It's not about that. Or is it about having ample medical care and drug supplies within the Gurdwara as well, or fuel, backup generators, communications, logistical networks set up from Gurdwara to Gurdwara, and other things you may have seen in these doomsday programs or apocalyptic shows, movies, and books. So just want to make that clear. It's about protecting our place of sanctuary, a place of peace, where love grows and blossoms forth, because that's the Guru's message. Yes, we need to be yard with yard, but we are a place of love, and we have to protect that, right? And love does hurt as well. We as Sikhs are a sovereign people. We are not equal to anyone. That's the way we stand. If you're going to say, you know, Guru Nanak Dev Ji came along and his message was equal to everyone else who came before him, then you're missing the point about Sikhi, right? He is superior. He gave us this superior form of spirituality, this way of life, to get us through Kali Yuga.
100%,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. We are not equal. We are superior. We are sovereign people. We have our own laws of the land. We have our own rules, our own taxation system, and we are able to integrate well into almost every culture of the world. When we have when we do reclaim the sovereignty of the systems, of what systems we have had. So we've had our own sovereign rules. We had times of the Gurus. We had certain ruling systems then. We then had Bandar Singh Bahadur, then the Confederacy, then the missile system, and then even also down if we start looking at 84 and even now when we're going into Punjab, when we start self-governing and having that sovereignty and being proud of it, what happens? The powers that be throws everything at us to prevent it from spreading. From wherever it is, bang, no, it's a shutdown. So we are sovereign people. We are just not sovereign individuals. That's where I see one of the issues is we're a little bit too sovereign. This me, that's it. You know, you lot all beneath me. We are a sovereign people, and that's the way it needs to stick to with that. So going into it, it's first of all, what are you protecting? So what are you protecting? It's what is the minimum level of security do you need to protect what you have? If you're just in a Gurdwara in a small town, there's not going to really be much there. Yeah, it's going to maybe it's an old converted church. Whereas if you're in Birmingham or on Soul Road, that's a massive one, or Havelock Road, it's a massive big Gurdwara. So this is the thing. It's like some things are going to be like, yes, you know what, that's a wise thing to implement. Other things are going to be like, well, that's a little bit too drastic. So you need to have your risk mitigation protocols in place. You know, are you protecting against deliberate? Are you protecting against accidental threats, fires, diseases, power outage? You know, are you protecting yourself against the gods, like with the wind, the rain, earthquakes, things beyond humanity's control? Threats within your local environment or radius. So where are they actually coming from? What sort of things are you doing? So you need to start highlighting what sort of threats they are, what can be deliberate, what can be accidental with this. Then it's like, okay, securing your location. These sorts of things is making it look like there's nothing of real value within. Make it difficult to tell if it's occupied and unoccupied as well. So let's say you got a nice big shot, you know, you as I said in the beginning, you got a big house, gates lit up and whatnot. It's like, okay, what's going on in that house? You know, what's actually there? They got a couple of Mercedes, a couple of M5s outside, Range Rover. It's like, oh, okay. So You can clearly tell that there's some wealth in there. So is there wealth within the house? So does it look like an easy target as well? Then what you want to be doing is making them think that it's going to be difficult to break in, and the risks of breaking in outweighs the reward. So if you have got that big house that's lit up, which is great, which is fantastic, a house that's got big fences, not lit up, so people can move along the driveway, makes it a hell of a lot easier. If you can jump over the fence, you get through the gate. What's the fence? Is it just a hedge? Is it a hedge with a fence behind it? Is it a hedge with a wire fence and something else behind it? And so on and so on. So we start off like, let's look at securing your perimeter. What does that sort of look like? So this is like, first of all, you want to be looking at the strengths and the weaknesses. You can get external people to look at it. And then even if yourself. So what I like to do is when I'm going to a new place, let's say, for instance, where was I the other day? Going to the train station. There's a new fence there. And it's like, okay, before is a rubbish little wire fence. You could have cut through it. Shrubs grown through it, broke down, pushed over. As soon as there's enough rain, the fence pole will fall out. So they change it to one of those more, I think zinc coated metal ones with the spikes on top. And it's like, it's a lot harder. I go, right, you know what? I don't really want to climb that, but if I needed to, I could, for whatever reason. If I need to escape someone, could I climb over it? And it's like, okay, what's on the other side? Well, there's a 5-foot drop on the other side. So I may have scaled the fence, but then can I scale then that drop? It's an 8-foot fence. So that's 13 feet. I have to jump down. And so at my age, I don't want to be taking that sort of risk if I land funny, just for no reason. So there has to, so the risk for reward has to be there as well.
It's got to be
definitely. With that. So what I'll do, I'll ping up the first bit of the strategy playbook. So here I've got the basic strategies for your home. So we're looking at deterrence, environmental controls, hardening access for doors and windows, layering warning systems, and safety rooms. That's depending on what your lifestyle's like or how you run your business. You may have a safety room or rally points, which is what you sort of need. And then also having the community awareness group and networking for this. So the first sort of thing, so we looked at the perimeter with that. That's
important,
Yeah, exactly. Your perimeter is a key thing. It's going to tell people a number of things, or a criminal, or whatever. Is it easy to break in? Right? Is it hard to break in? If it's easy to break in, is it worth actually breaking in? Is there anything in there? Right? Because you may have no fence, your house looks shit, or something like that. Or, so it's like, is it worthwhile going in? The windows are battered, looks like a drug den or something like that. So it's like, having a poor perimeter, provided the house doesn't scream, go, look, I've got valuable stuff in here, it's good. We down by us, down the road, we've got a motorcycle gangs house. So they're HQ.
Okay, yeah.
So when they come down, they roll big. They're known in the area for selling the hard drugs and all this sort of stuff. I'm not going to mention the name of them. They're only just down the road from here. And their headquarters is on a normal cul-de-sac, right? It's on the corner house, right? It's corner house. They've got a normal 6-foot brick fence, one layer, all right? They got the windows always dark, so you don't know who's in, or if someone's in or not. And there's one camera on the front. The approach is clear.
But they'll also have crossbows, knives, and you know what they're like, innit?
We don't. But this one saying, look, they got minimal level of, if you want to break in, you can.
Yeah.
You see, right.
Yeah.
It's a clear pathway to the door. It's a clear pathway. There's nothing tunneling or funneling anyone on.
No security
Yeah,
gate. I've got security gate on my house.
yeah, exactly. So if they're doing that, right, and all these other, and they're into doing their unruly things, and the local police know that's their headquarters, and when they're just like, okay, that's how they operate. Why then do people who have other sort of things like, right, I need this security, I need that, I need this? It's because of their mentality. They're a
Hmm.
unit, right? They got those rally points. Something happens, something's going
Yeah.
to go. I don't know their protocols, but that's what I'm assuming.
No. They are, bro. They're
Yeah,
organized. Yeah.
exactly. They know they're going to get hit,
Yeah.
and they're
One
ready for it.
call, they're willing to die, bro. They're willing to die for each other. If it
Yeah,
gets to that level, yeah.
yeah, exactly. They got their own rules within their
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
So, and no random's gonna go in there and do it. It's gonna have to be another gang
Yeah.
doing stuff with them. So yeah, and that's the way to think about it as well. So good deterrence, and the environmental control is having good bright lighting. Install motion active bright LED floodlights. Have them on a backup generator as well. You might want a USP on a uninterrupted power supply as well, because if there is a blackout within there, whatever reason as well. Hey, Rand, you good? He's just popped on. He's
Yeah.
trained with me. And make sure you cover all access points, even the ones that are down the gully in the dark areas where you expect no one to be. So windows, doors, the garage, and any blind spots. Remember, people like the darkness. When
Yeah.
you're in the darkness, you can move.
Yeah.
Anyone can move. I'm a big guy. I can't, as soon as I'm spotted. My profile is seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the dark, even better, which is
Yeah.
great. And then any sort of signaling. So prominent display, security signs, systems, even if they just had on the windows, if even they just had windows and door sensors, saying that, go, look, we've got security, camera. Here's the camera
Yeah.
sign. Oh, beware of the dogs.
Yeah.
Or you see some people, I don't know, right back your area, but we have some people in their gardens, they have trespassers will be shot. So
Yeah.
survivors will be shot again. you know, so
Yeah.
so like, even though it's a joke, it's like, oh, okay. People aren't wanted here. A sign is amazing. So just look at how the police cordon off a crime scene. A piece of tape.
Yeah.
It's a tape.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
respect authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
100%.
It doesn't have to be strong. It just has to be
No.
authoritative.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Even a
Yeah.
fake beware of the dog sign. You can get these things that the dog barks, but it's not really there. You plug it in and you leave it, and every couple minutes goes woof, woof, woof. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
could work, bro. Because we think, it's still a dog there. I'm going to get bit on the leg, man. Forget that. I'm going to go to another house that ain't got a dog.
Yeah,
Easy pickings, innit?
exactly. And it doesn't matter about the size of the dog either, because
No.
I don't want to handle a dog. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they are. And then he's having visibility control. So you trim your bushes, your hedges, your shrubs, the
Yeah.
trees near the windows, and the doors to eliminate any hiding spots. You want to be able to see out, because people want cover. Anyone who wants to come in wants cover. And this is what I had to do. So we've got our driveway. We could get free well, if we took out the hedge in the brick wall, we
Yeah.
could get 3 cars on there. But we can squeeze onto with, so we got our main window there. We got our hedge and fence there. And then we got the garage and the front door on the other side. There used to be a gate there. We took it off so we could get 2 cars on there. And we got a hedge. We've got a hedge on the other side, and we've got a hedge all the way around. There's a few of us that like the hedges. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to let my hedge grow, so it's just there. So we get more privacy in the house. And then so we'll keep 1 car on the drive, 1 car on the road. And then our car got broken into. What window of the car did they break into? The window right next to the hedge.
Hedge, yeah, makes sense.
Because no one's camera could see it.
Yeah.
They were blind behind. We couldn't see anything either if we were out at that time from our living room or that room that we was there. And it's like, okay, you know what? So I chopped it down by a foot. So now it's like about 5'4".
Yeah.
So it's only going to be a small person that's going to be able to hide underneath there, so we can see people's heads and shoulders. So now, since then, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We haven't had a break in because of that issue into our vehicle. So we also live in a corner, which is bit of a problem. So the
Yeah.
people from the back estate will come in and out. So if there is any easy pickings, they will get it from those sorts of things. So just by cutting that, well, trimming the hedge down, it's a deterrent. Whereas most people are, the higher my wall, the better. Well, the
No.
higher your wall, the more
Well,
concealment you got.
yeah, camouflage, isn't it? Yeah, camouflage.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you do with that? What I would like to say on that as well, is if anybody has seen a data center, the way they construct a data center these days. So in the trading estate, we've got a number of them. They are
Mm.
really interesting to take a look at. They'll have, on average, the first meter or 2 meters, low-lying shrubs, no more than about 18 inches high. Yeah, then they have a walkway. Then they have the actual main perimeter fence. The main perimeter fence, no barbed wire, no nothing. I think they're about 10 foot. There's those wire ones, strong wire ones. You could climb it if you wanted to. And then they have specialized exits located in XYZ. And then they're all lit up. Then they have the pathways. And then you see where it goes to the building, where's the parking, where's the entrances, and so on. You see the cameras. It's like, you know what? This is just absolutely crazy. Like before I knew that they were data centers, I'm like, what are these buildings that got so much security on them? They had
Mm.
loads, and I was like, I couldn't comprehend it. And then I just so happened to be speaking to someone who went to the gym in that place in the training estate, and they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm a contractor. I'm saying, it's they're data centers. I was like, why so much security? It's like,
Mm.
because data is everything.
Yeah,
People,
100%.
data's king, man. So it
Mhm.
is, if we have robot overlords, they are siphoning off our data all the time. Why does a human need all that data for? With that. So looking at the perimeter, making deterrents just by lights,
Mm.
signs, and what sort of bushes you got. You can also use furniture, pots, flower
Mm.
pots, placing them
Mm.
in certain location, bins. Don't keep your bins too close to the fences as well, because someone can jump over and so on. Same thing, don't keep your bins too close to something that they can jump up onto your flat roof also, or onto a
Okay.
flat roof. Yeah, keep them in a different area. That. Then we look at hardening access points, windows, and doors. So, in a nutshell, it's anybody can break into your house, regardless
Mm.
of what security you have.
Mhm.
The
You
only
just got to
real
make it
reason why
hard.
we have, pardon?
I think you just got to make it hard as possible for the minute. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah. You know, why do we have windows and doors? To stop people wandering or peeping in. Yeah,
Mm.
people will walk in. There's been ample times where the door's been open and I've just wandered through, going, oh, what's in here? What's in there? You could be at the Gurdwara, you could be at a supermarket, you could be at an event, you could be wherever, at school. The teachers' lounge is open. Oh, let's just
Mm.
look up, right? It's not locked.
Yeah.
Let's see what's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
it is. So you want to make sure that any doors that aren't used or windows are locked and easily and are not easily defeated as well. So if you still got those old school doors and not a composite one or a hard wood door, you want to change it. You got PVC doors,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is there. It's like even if you reinforce your doors, replacing the standard screws with bigger screws like the 3-inch ones, drill them into the walls rather than just into the frame. Really go deep. If you've got the brickwork to do it in, do it. Because it's going to stop the door being kicked down as easily.
Yeah.
The frame. People can, you may have a strong door, but if you got a crap frame, it's
Yeah.
useless.
I
Yeah,
didn't think of that. Yeah. 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 You need the
yeah,
frame to be strong in it. Yeah, you're right. It's
yeah.
true.
So,
Yeah.
so it's like if you got a hardwood frame, what condition is it in? Is it rotten? Is it rotting? Is it easy to break? Also,
Yeah.
so these sorts of things you sort of even like your windows, same thing. It's like, right, what are the frames like? Are they wooden? Are they aluminium? Are they PVC? Are they something else composite? Or I'm not was it double glazing salesman, but
Yeah.
those are the best people to ask about those. What sort of things. I've installed a few windows and doors here, And remember, they're all clipping systems. They're all clipping systems. Clip here, clip there, put the double panel in. You know, you got a
So you
pray
can
bar,
unclip
go
it,
up a
innit? You
slide
can
here.
unclip it. Yeah. You can
Yeah,
unclip it. Yeah, yeah, for real.
yeah, exactly. Take the seal out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, you know, these are very simple things that someone could do.
yeah.
You know, it's a basic. You know, if you know how to construct them, you know how to deconstruct them
Yeah.
as well. So the next one will be like if you're looking at sliding doors and window bars as well. You know, if you put like a dowel or a metal bar in the tracking
Yeah.
of your sliding doors, it helps them stop being picked up because that's another big issue, especially
Oh,
if
yeah,
they're
yeah.
on the ground floor. And even if the lock is picked, which can happen as well, it's knowing, you know, what can be done. Should you really have a sliding door in that sort of position? Uh, and then with your sliding doors, can you see through them? Do you want it to be visible? What do you want to be visible on the other side? All right, because if you got sliding doors, and that's your main point of entry, and you want to defend that, you can't do really any covert defenses on it. It has to be
Mm.
overt because people are going to see you. People are going to see what's there. So if you got that dog sign up and you can hear a dog, it's like, well, the dog hasn't come to the door yet. I haven't seen it. So it's like, right, you know, what's actually happening with that? You can easily put like net curtains. You can put frostings on them. You can put pictures, designs. Uh, you know, it doesn't reinforce a door. However,
Mm.
it breaks up what you can see. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can put a nice design on it as
Mm-hmm.
well. You know, imagine every you know every gym door in every Gurdwara, they had some sort of artwork on there. You know, Santi or someone like that. Boom, it's like yes. You know, it breaks it
Mm.
up as well. You know, people just can't stare in. However, you want to have that ability to stare out as well. It's like, can I look in? Because if there is a peeping tom, at least you can peep out as well. So
Yeah,
it goes
100%.
twofolds.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I'm not going to go down the route of, you know, having a two-way mirror, you know, where you can see them and they can't see you. That could be
Mm.
another option if you didn't want to do that.
Mm.
When it comes to your doors and your gates, always go for sliding gate, even at home.
Mm.
With that reason being that the sliding gates, they have two pillars, like little two columns here. So if I've got my pen here, they sit in like that. So any pushes against it, it's
Mm.
reinforced. If it's a swing one, boom,
Mm.
it gets
Mm.
pushed off. It doesn't take much to do that. Uh, However, the defense mechanisms that you need for that need to be better. Any electrical gate
Mm.
can be overridden manually.
Mm.
Anything can. You know, with your house or wherever, you just jump over. Well, you can just jump over the fence, open up the
Uh,
box, and take it out. Yeah, and you
wow.
can hand crank it. I'm
Okay.
going to give you an example of this. I was working for a healthcare company down by the south coast. With that, my speciality is I'm quality and regulatory within my certain field. So I'm doing a lot
Yeah.
of pen pushing there, making sure things are right. We got a new manager, a new managing director. He's like, right, I'm gonna do this, that, the other. Warehouse got picked up, and it's like, oh yeah, you know what? We need more security, so we've got new cameras. And the guys, it's like, right, we just spent £2 million on our new gate. Beautiful gate, huge, long, sliding gate, right? So everyone's really proud of it. It's like, look, you know, we've got a pin on it, we got a manual lock on it. You know, it can't be overridden electronically or so. It's like, okay, great, perfect. And up the top, they redid the fence as well. One day, uh, one of the workers, they came in for the top gate. They're like, okay, you know, just walked in, gates open, great. Walked down, and it's like, okay, the trucks are gone. Maybe the drivers came earlier, right? Got in there. A couple of the other workers came in. It's like, okay, oh, the drivers coming early? It's like, yeah, they must have. So they got in about 7 o'clock, 7:30. By 10 o'clock, they're like, there's nothing here. Where are our drivers? Because that's when the drivers came in.
Mm.
The drivers came to like, no, we haven't taken them. And it's just like, geez, what's happened? Right? And it was like, someone's taken the trucks. So they looked at the CCTV footage.
Yeah.
What's happened? Some people got a pair of bolt cutters, chop the lock on the top gate, walk down
yeah,
to the main gate, lifted
yeah,
up the hatch, unwound it, pulled it open. They walked in.
yeah,
They hot wired two of the vans, took them, shut the gate,
yeah.
went back up, put the latch on the main gate, and then about 4 days later, they found out that the two stolen vehicles from that site were used to commit a crime in a city 200 miles away.
Crazy.
Right? And it's like, whoa, and we was thinking, was this an inside job?
Yeah,
What was going on? What was the likelihood of that happening before the crappy gate? It would have been super easy, but maybe they would have noticed that someone's cut the chain and the bolts. Whereas a
100%.
sliding gate, it's like, it didn't seem compromised.
Okay,
Yeah,
crazy.
and then the side gate, it was like, someone must have been here early. They, because the lock was still hanging on there, but it was cut. They didn't notice that. So having those sorts of things, these are sort of things you need to sort of think about
Yeah,
with those. And then if we start looking at layering the system, so you want to have
yeah,
a loud, immediate noise um, that is a good deterrent. So sometimes when there's alarms going off, they're
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Just noise and lights. People, geez, it's like then they don't know how much time they've really got in the
yeah.
venue or how much time they got to approach.
100%. Yeah,
Also, so putting everything on your windows, your doors, uh, having those magnetic sensors, anything that triggers an external loud alarm, it's always great, and making sure that they are strategically placed,
yeah,
and uh, they want to be those sorts of things, like especially like the security lights and even those loud alarms. If you put those, some of them more near the less used windows or the less used access points,
yeah,
you're literally fortifying them there with those. Then you can have, there are people there, internal safe words and alerts. You can have certain codes with
yeah,
everyone within the environment or the households. So I have these with my family.
yeah. Okay.
So we have certain words, like especially in our early days being married and we was on for an holiday, we had
Yeah.
certain words that would be said that when we felt we were not safe,
Okay.
right?
Good.
So it's just like bang, so no one knows what that word means, right?
Oh,
So I'll give you an example here. We also started doing this with our son
okay.
when he was acting up when we was out and about. Instead of getting angry and shouting at him and wanting to give him a thump or so, we would say a certain word to him, and he'll be like,
Yeah.
So and then they're playing these sorts of games with your kid. It's like, look, this, this is
Yeah.
our secret code word as well. So getting them into that sort of mindset that isn't sort of too obvious. And then some of these words can be like connected to safety plans. They can be, to go, right, do you contact your local community watch initiative program, or do you call the police? Is there a designated area you need to go to? Also, well, what's the protocol for that?
Yeah.
For that particular word. Your words can be anything. They can
Yeah.
be colors, they can be numbers, they can be
Yeah.
afraid. You want it obvious to one another, but not something that you would use in your everyday
Yeah.
vocabulary.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So
Yeah. I
playing
get
those
you.
sorts of,
So yeah, it's cold, like a code language, really. So blue could mean like let's retreat. Red could mean okay, we've got to attack now. We're in danger. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, innit?
yes, yeah. So I will go. Uh, Blue would be, there's a threat.
Okay.
There's a threat. Yeah. So everyone knows, okay, we're in blue. Because then if we use, like, there's this thing called Cooper's color code of your states of
Okay.
awareness that goes from white to yellow to orange to red, then into black.
Okay.
So you can look into that Cooper's color code. And then then that red could be, it's on.
It's on.
It's on. So instead of retreat, um, I would say, having the word retreat, just as retreat, go, look, let's go. Just duck out, you got to all that. So these are things, these words are more action words to get ready or to do something. Yeah.
100%, brother.
If you sort of get that with those. So next is, if you have a save point or a rally point. If you're in that home, your goal isn't to go around searching for that intruder. It's to make sure that you are safe and so is your family. It's your security. Going off and go, there's a noise in there. Yes, you do want to do that as well
Yeah.
sometimes. However, there's times it's like, you know what, you just want to protect. Because if you're upstairs in your house, someone breaks in downstairs. You don't know how many, what they're carrying, and what they're actually there for. Right?
100%.
So if you're there sleeping and you go running down in the kutcha, and there's 4 bunda there,
Yeah.
you're outmanned and you're most probably out-tooled.
The white kutcha's gonna turn brown, innit?
Yeah, right. So these are the things you need to think. It's like, okay, yes, someone comes in my house, I've got my baseball bat. Okay, but how many other people are there? It's, someone breaks in, you hear a sound. Do you stomp on your floor? Bang, bang, right? So we get into that. So do you stomp on the floor to sound like there's a big 6'4", 150-pound bunda who's just woken up, right? Knocking on the doors, bang, bang, bang. Oi, Balwant, wake up. Oi, Gutiban, wake up. Simran, wake up. And you're shouting out 4 or 5 people's names, and people start making noise. Boom, 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 boom. Right? It's like, okay, shit. Right? It's that cycle. You need to play that sort of game. Is that ploy? Can that deterrent then get these people coming out? Because if they're coming up your stairs, you got a good bottleneck there. If you really suss that out, where your entry points are. So if you can play that game, or even it's like, get the bloody dog, go and wake him up, right? So you can play that sort of game as well. So it's like, you don't have to go down there. You can if you have to, or if you want to. But the main thing is to protect your family. And how are you going to protect your family? You can lie all you want if people are downstairs and they don't know what you got upstairs. If they're breaking into an unknown house and they haven't done their recce's or intel, bang, it's up. It's their fault.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So you can put a lot of deterrent methods in there that aren't even real and will work. Yeah, because think about it, criminals, somebody breaking in your house isn't really there to get violent. They're there to get stuff. Yeah. So unless they are, and unless they are therefore a human resource, if they want to go in there and rape, they can. If that's their mission, that might be a byproduct of it. But their main goal is just to take stuff or to intimidate. Depending on if it's a hit, it's a different thing.
Yeah, it's a hit, or it's a mental health nowadays, isn't it? They just kill and rape and that, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Mental health. A lot of people hiding behind that word, which isn't great. And then the next one is like if you're in an urban area, your neighborhoods will often be your best early warning signs and best people to use. I don't know about you, but when was the last time you rang the police for help, and what was their response time? With that, they don't care about petty crimes.
No.
That would happen to me often, like in our previous place where we lived above shops, and behind there was always crackheads, people drinking. We're coming home, people sitting on our stairs, just and it's like, look, just move. We lived there for about 4 or 5 years, and I would say at least, every week at least 2 confrontations would kick off. Which wasn't nice, and it was good that we got out of there. It was a lovely place to live, but the outside was horrible. And then there was occasions where rang up the police like, we can't say to anyone. I'm like, but there's 8 people here. What do you want me to do? I want to get into my house. He's like, it's like, yeah, we can't. What you can do, mate, you can stay on the phone, and we'll get someone to you as soon as possible. And 2 days later, you get a phone call going, oh yeah, do you still need help? And it's like, yeah, and it's just like, if they ever wanted you to not like the police, they do a good job at it sometimes, because my main experiences were from being younger, always stopped and searched, and then we had the stop and search in London, every single underground station, I always got picked on. Then driving, when I'm driving in these certain areas, you know, your car's not local. Why are you here for? And it's just like, okay, yeah, course, you're just doing a routine check at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know,
Yeah,
I was speeding, was I? Um, but I'm not going to
yeah,
get up
yeah.
what you say. I'm going to what you say. So yeah,
It's
so
different.
in so
Hard times, hard nights, and that, you know, I got stopped and searched 3 times in one road, bro. Like, it was a discriminant time, and it was bad times.
yeah,
The youth now, they won't know what it was like. Do you know what I mean? They ain't gonna have a clue, you know. They ain't got,
yeah,
because
exactly.
now the police have
That
got,
distrust
they
you.
got monitors now, and they got monitors the police have, so they can't even take the piss. Before they used to chuck us in the van, beat us up, and just blame us. So he
Yeah.
started
Call the
it.
meat wagon. You saw,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wait here. We're going to call the
yeah.
meat wagon. Then we're going to talk.
It was low police brutality, bro. People don't know
Yeah,
it. They just don't know
yeah,
it. They're not been
definitely.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So relying on the police, is, you know, it has to be circumstantial. It has to be something really major for them to show up when something's going on
yeah,
there. So having a neighborhood watch party is always good. So everybody's actively participating. So with me, my ex neighbor,
yeah.
before he moved back home to Ireland, he was the head of homicide for the Met for
Okay.
about 20 years. And I was just like, wow, you know, the stories, you know, where you used to have lots of good exchanges. And like I was speaking to you, we will be speaking like this. He knew the
Yeah,
crack. Yeah,
yeah,
he was, you know, like when we
yeah,
was having the discussions, he'll be like, you know what, because especially during COVID, he's just like, you know, he's like, knife crime has gone through the roof. I'm like,
yeah,
what? Really? With all these people? He's like, no, he's like domestic. It's like, geez. And then he
yeah,
started divulging, going, you know what? It's not like how it used to be in the 70s and 80s. It's like back then, you know, if somebody wanted to go kill someone,
yeah,
they would have to go get authority first from the governor, from the boss. Then the boss will go, look, something's going down tonight,
yeah,
and so on. So they had communication. So yeah, they were all in each other's pockets. They knew that there was
yeah,
a limit. They knew they could do certain sorts of things, and it was just like, wow, you know. So the stuff that you see in the movies and the books and whatnot, you know, like
true,
some of the stories that are being divulged, it's like, wow, you know what? That's, you know, and that's when a lot of us had respect for the elders and respect for certain people and groups,
yeah,
because it's like,
yeah,
you know what, you step out of place, something's going to happen, and you don't want
yeah,
that to happen.
yeah.
So
Hierarchy system, wasn't it?
yeah,
Life's a jungle, bro. Anyone get anyone now, innit?
exactly. Instant gratification.
Yeah,
Instant. You know, yeah, so you know, when you got your neighborhood watch parties, you know, have you got like a WhatsApp group? Have you got a dedicated chat? You know, where you can share pictures, suspicious vehicles, people. Like one of the things here is like, you know, we take so there's a little group here that come here. Uh, they shot in the corner, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They shot in the corner, and it's just like, you know, when I go speak to them, I'm like, you know what, guys, I know you're shotting, you know,
yeah,
but uh, don't loiter in these particular areas. Yeah,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
don't loiter outside people's houses. You know, there's a hedge, there's a big long fence there. Do it there,
yeah, yeah,
right? You know, because so far there's been no issue with them. There's
yeah,
no
yeah,
issue, right? Because it's
yeah.
their area and whatnot. You know, I'm not going to start pissing on their thing. You know, they're younger than
Nah,
me.
they start
They're,
smashing your windows and that, bro. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You don't want that headache, innit?
exactly. So
Or
it's like,
just,
okay,
they
you
just
know,
pull out a
so
knife,
even
you
if
know what I
you,
mean?
yeah, like even though you know who the criminals are, it's just like, you know, you never know, they might be of help, because
Yeah,
that
100%.
this is their territory. And if we got
Yeah, they
shit
gotta
going down,
protect
it's like,
it.
look, you know, when someone broke into my car, who's the best person to ask?
Them, innit? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They know who's around here. They know who should be
yeah,
around here and who shouldn't be.
100%,
Right?
bro.
Yeah. So having those sorts of connections, you know, yes, you do want your local police, your local groups, and also having people who uh, sometimes bypass the law is also a good thing to have in certain circumstances.
Yeah, you gotta be linked up, bro. You have to be linked up, man. If you're just
Yeah.
relying
So
on the law and the police and this and that, and you ain't got your own procedures in place and you ain't connected to certain people, you can't get certain things, you're at a disadvantage, right? Big time.
yeah, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. So then, like, let's say now, so those are some of the stuff that we can do at home, and obviously some of those do spill over to the Gurdwara as well.
No, respect
So
for that, man. It's important information. some of it you don't think of it really, innit? But it's obviously this is your field and you thought of it. Sangha hope they appreciate it and take some of the stuff on board, man. Because little things, they might seem like little things, but they could be life saving. Do you know what I mean? Just a 3-inch screw in the door could be the difference between it getting kicked down or not kicked down. And if the door gets kicked down, who knows what can happen, innit?
Yeah, exactly. The frame broke. You know, the frame's like, geez, I spent 10 grand on my door, and the frame didn't
Yeah.
last. You know, that's
Nah,
basically like,
that is
yeah,
good, yeah. Good because I know someone that's gonna replace their door, yeah. And now I'm gonna mention this to them, innit? Oh, it's good that we had this convo as well, innit?
yeah. And remember, it's also what is the frame attached to? What block is it attached to? Breeze block. Yeah, there's no point putting an 8-inch bolt into a breeze block.
Nah, it's no point, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So this is where, you know, we'll say, you know, like builders. I'll say this is a common knowledge for certain people. You know, how do you actually do this? What should you be doing? You know, like the double glazing salesman, door salesman, people selling you carpet and all that. You know, they sort of know these things. You know, people cutting hedges. You know, they know how you should have your trees and bushes. So just getting them and go, look, I want this, that, and the other. It's what would you suggest? What will bring more light in here? What will stop my cameras getting blocked in winter or autumn? Yeah, where would be the best place for the lighting to be as well? Where would be the best place to put my plant pots? Does this plant pot make good access? Does it give good cover for me? Does it give good cover for someone else? And so on. So it's just not trying to eliminate things that are going to stop people from coming towards you. It's also having the necessity of things that help you progress to your perimeter if you needed to.
Well, what plants are you growing, bro? You keep talking about this plant pot.
I've got five leaves and grow about 6 foot tall.
It's not for the yardies and the Vietnamese, is it? You ain't got a grow growing out your house. That's why you're protecting it, innit? So no kids can come rob the grow, innit?
Exactly.
The grow, you've got a
Exactly.
grow
Got
yard.
blacked out windows. Blacked out windows.
You got the shutters down the corner. You got the grow yard. You're supplying them, bro. I worked it out, bro.
mate, you need to be into hydroponics at some point in life.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
What's the next step
so,
now? We've done.
so the other thing would be like, you know, if you are at home, it's like always leave a light. You could always leave the light on so people know or don't know that it's occupied or unoccupied.
Yeah.
You could also leave your curtains shut or open all the time on a particular room. So it's interesting. Like with my neighbours, they leave their curtains shut all year round. Doesn't matter what the daytime is, or summer, winter, and it's just like sometimes it's like living. Did you ever watch the film The Birds with Tom Hanks?
Yeah. I know what you're on about.
Yeah. So it's sort of that sort of house that the windows are always shut, they're blacked out. It's like, geez, what's going? You know, there's noise. Yeah. The guys are awesome. They're awesome. But before we sort of got to know them, it was just like, why? You know, they would, but that's their culture. Culturally, they like to keep their curtains shut. They leave their upstairs ones open all the time, but the downstairs ones are always shut.
Remember the film Home Alone when he put the lights on and he made them cardboard people and he's pulling it. That's
yeah, exactly. He made it look occupied.
Yeah, that was brainy, innit?
Yeah, so you could use a timer switch on that. Always have that timer switch on and on running, even when you are there at home as well. You know, people like to use these neon ones, so I bought one of those, and I was like, this is really cool. And I put them in my office. I was like, you know what? If I left that on, it always looks like the TV's flashing.
That's really good.
And it was low cost as well. Or you could get a solar panel one as well that's attached to it. 100%. So having those sorts of things in there. So next, if we look at the Gurdwara now, so with this, the Gurdwara isn't like your house. It's a place of worship. It needs to remain accessible at all times. As we know, no one can really be disallowed into the Gurdwara unless they have their face covered or if they're intoxicated. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So those are the only two real reasons why somebody may not enter with that. So if someone does have their face covered, they would have to show it. So that's a quick win for them. But if they are intoxicated, that's going to be a couple of hours or even the next day thing when they may be able
Yeah.
to
No
re-enter
entry.
if they wanted to come
Yeah.
in, right?
Yeah.
So what they need to have controls of who's entering during service and non-service hours and where people can go during these hours as well. So having designated entry points, during like a Gurpurg or whatever the major service is. Is it your Nityanam in the morning? Is it the Sham Reras and putting Maharaj away? Uh, what staff and volunteers should be monitoring the doors that are opened. And then during the quiet hours, it will be looking at locking all the doors and all the windows apart from the main entrances and clearly posting the times and the contact information as well, because sometimes you have a gully here and there that people can walk around. It's like, I know at some of them, it's like, there is the main entrance, but if my car is parked this side, I'm walking in that way, because I know it's going to be open. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what do you do there? Should you lock them up? What should you
Yeah.
have open at what time and at
100%.
when? And then same thing when it comes to the lighting also. And then you want to have clearly marked and secure non-public areas, like you got your offices. This could be Fatkhand as well. The nursery, storage, utility rooms, what other sort of other facilities, your storerooms, where you may have your waters, your food, certain place for langar, even if you have a library there as well. And you want to use different levels of access controls, whether this is a standard key, are these padlocks, are these key cards, are they fobs, and certain areas only staff have access to it versus public spaces. And then it's also who's allowed to give access as well. So there was one incident a week or two ago where somebody had entered a restricted area within the Gurdwara, and it was like, okay, how did they gain access?
Yeah.
Right. So they were grilled, and it's like, look, can we get people down there? And it's like, okay, so I was able to go down there at that particular time, and then literally get a debrief of what happened by the time I got there. And
Okay.
it was like understanding. It's like, okay, these people got access to this particular room. Why? Who let them and how? And it was all the community, and it was all down to communication. However, the person who let them in didn't really, only took the person who said, can you let me in? Because this person said. They did not then verify that communication as well. So saying, the Pradhan said, I can do this, and without them checking it or having that knowledge prior, could be an issue. The treasurer said, I'm allowed access to the Gawler, I'm counting the money today because he's sick. So it could be stuff like that as well. So there's a lot of things that you can play around with, going, okay, who does actually have access? When does access get breached? If it does, what protocols were in place? Did it follow the protocols? Or was there a deviation? Or did it fail from there? So those sort of things we're looking at. And then vetting for high-risk groups as well. So if the facility is running a program for like vulnerable people, like children, toddlers, elderly, could be disabled group as well. Like some people do yoga sessions for the elderly. I know there's a few that do toddlers and nursery groups here. Are the volunteers and staff, even the Gyanya, right? Do they actually go through the background checks? Do they go through safeguarding? Do they actually get their DBS checks, right? Are they actually? Do you actually have a fire marshal on site at all times? Do you actually have a first aider, at least one, on site all the time? Right.
They are first aid box, bro.
Yeah. No, I got plasters.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. So it's
We'll
like
put haldi on there from the langar ho.
Right. Exactly. There's a time and place for that. Right? But it is. We're very, as you said at the beginning, we're very reactive. We're not preventative in these sorts. And this is basic stuff. It's like, and this is what I don't sort of understand. A lot of the committees around in this country, it's if you don't work for yourself, and you work for if you work for a corporate company or a company, you know all these measures are in place. You've read the policies, right? You know what the SOPs are. Yeah. Well done. Lyrics. You're saying, yeah,
Yeah.
to defib. You need that too. You need those, right? You know, every
What
boxing gym
what
needs to
just
have one.
tell the songers what are they, man? Because I've seen them
A
about. Yeah.
defibrillator is someone who's having a cardiac arrest. They can boom, zap them.
Oh,
So
is
if they
it?
are, yeah. So you can have, they got usually about anything between 2 and 5 zaps in them for
Yeah.
someone.
We're definitely getting the
So obviously,
Gurdwara bro, because a lot of heart attacks because the bloody longer the processed carbs, the bloody oil, the gulab
yeah,
jamun. So heart attack causing food, man, we give out. You know what I mean? The original Langar wasn't like that, but that's a different
yeah. It
topic
was the
altogether.
original lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a different topic altogether.
yeah. So if we're talking about the defibs as well, with those, it's if you get one of the proper ones, not the little carry cases ones that you can take portable with you. Alternatively, you could do this with a portable one as well. It's when you got your defib there, you may see them like they're like phone boxes, and you can put they got the code punch code in off a machine. So usually they're in a green and yellow box. There's a few good like that I've seen the ham, which is fantastic. Some I haven't seen anywhere. But when you got one of those, you register it with, I believe it's part of the NHS, and they have every single defib available for the public to use, as well as the working hours you can use it. So if someone's walking past the Gurdwara and someone had a cardiac arrest that wasn't part of the Sangat, that defib, if they ran in and go, bang, here's the code, you can ring it up, go, I'm at this defib, they'll give you the code, they'll unlock it, bang, 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 here, zap it on. Yeah? So
Mm.
this isn't just for us, it's for everyone else. You know, the more we have like that, like one of my mates, he's got his own club in Windsor, and
Mm.
he teaches first aid. And with him, he's got a couple of defibs. He's like, yeah, when I'm at home, the hours I'm working at home, my defib is live for anybody who needs it. Because it could be someone out on the
Okay.
street. You know, I could be within a 5-minute walk of someone who needs it.
Yeah,
So,
or outside your house or something, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's a very rare case. But, you know,
Hmm.
if that happens on your street, it's like, geez, you know, we could have prevented it. You know, every life
Yeah.
is valuable
No, he's
with this.
right. The Gurdwara needs to have that. I don't think I've seen one in the Gurdwara ever. So
Yeah, exactly. And our culture is known for diabetes and heart attacks.
yeah, because of that
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Food, stress, whatever it is, you know. Next is then training and then empowering like the security or even the safety team. So they are our first line of defense. You know, I believe the Hukumnama was released, was it earlier this year or last year by Carl Thug saying that every single Gurdwara needs security. They need at
24/7.
least, yeah, but the still
Was
places
this year?
like,
I think it was last year or this year, one of the years. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. And it's just like, well, have you really got security? Yes or no? You know, it's a plain simple
Mm.
question. The level of security we're not questioning yet, but do you have that there? So, and then you need these guys to be trained beyond the basic skills, and this is what this PDF is for as well. It's yes,
Okay.
you get your training, you'll get your door supervisor badge, or
Mm.
so, or your CCTV badge, but you
Yeah.
get generic stuff. But if you're going into a specific location, right,
Yeah.
that you're going to be there all the time, you need to make sure that that generic stuff, some of it will work, but the
Yeah.
rest of it you need to tailor make. You tailor it and then test it, right?
Mm.
So this is could be, you know, you have a designated greeter team. You know, someone who stands tall. No, there's a few from that have that. Now there's always someone's there, you know, like Cartha, what you put there, how's it going, VG? You know, so they're always on rota. So they know who's coming in,
Yeah.
what
Well,
basis.
it could be paid. It could be voluntary. We've got all
Yeah.
these Nahang things, buddy, dressing up the part. I've never seen them do security, so they need to get their act together, get
Well, the
involved.
youngsters, I would
But,
say, the
huh?
youngsters should be doing it.
They should, of course, they got regular time in it. A lot of them,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, of course. You know,
Mm.
you want to play dress up, you might as well role play the game properly.
Yeah,
With,
true,
with that,
100%.
you know,
Yeah,
and
100%.
making sure that they're visible. You know,
Mm.
as you said, and the hung is clearly visible. Put a high vis on him, he ain't
Yeah,
going nowhere. He ain't hiding
yeah.
anywhere. Right?
Walkie-talkie. Imagine if you got two Nahangs, yeah, whiz, high whiz, or whatever, walkie-talkies, spare. No one's coming in messing about. You know what I mean?
Well, provided they're on and
Yeah.
not distracted. Yeah, there's always workarounds. There's always workarounds. I'm sure you found workarounds in your younger
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. so
Mm.
so with those sorts of guys, they need to be trained in de-escalation
Yeah.
techniques. Verbal will be the key one with there, as well as physical. Then their first aid as well, communication, logistics, and observation. Observational skills are critical for this as well. These teams are responsible for monitoring the Sangha
Mm.
that's coming in and identifying anyone who is showing suspicious or disruptive behavior. You know,
100%.
or it fits the profile of an attacker. I'm not going to go too much into. I'm not even going to go into that
No.
terminology into this, but I hope it's self-explanatory. Profile of
Yeah.
an attacker. You can Google it.
Yeah.
With that, then you want to have, okay, you know, do you have an active shooter or intruder
Mm.
protocol? You know, the Jews, you know, they had an active shooter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that synagogue was about 500 meters away from one of my mate's houses. When I spoke
Okay.
to him afterwards, he's like, mate, he's like, it's on my doorstep. He's like, we were cordoned off. All right.
Bloody.
Told me what he told me his protocols, what he put in place. When the news came, bang bang, I was like, okay, man, that's good, man. Well done for staying safe. With those sorts of things. So just be like implementing a simple, well rehearsed run, hide, or fight, or similar protocol. Practicing drills where the goal is to either immediately evacuate, control and restrain, or secure the nearest door. Yeah,
That's
it
what
could
they
be
did,
anything.
innit? That's what they
Yeah,
did, innit? Mm.
yeah, it could be anything. And then also having a post incident plan. You know, staff and the committee need to know how to manage the aftermath, including the coordination of the first responders, preserving the scene, documenting the incident. Don't let someone else, oh, you know, is here, oh, yeah, the police have done it, whatnot. It's our responsibility. It's our house. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
My
someone's
previous.
walked in,
Mm.
they did what they did and like, then with that as well, it's have a debrief afterwards. Discuss what went well, what needs to be improved, then investigate the actual root cause. Not because someone left a door open. If you had a protocol going, look, you know, doors should be shut, it's like, okay. So my line of work, we did a lot of CAPAs, which is corrective actions and preventative actions. We'll
Mm.
have a correction, a corrective action, and a preventative action. We will then do a lot of root cause analysis. That sort of stage within the industry, people were getting annoyed that people were putting it down to human error.
Mm.
Then there was this revolutionary way that Rolls-Royce were doing their work. And they go, look, there's no such thing as human error. It's the system that's messed up. So
Mm.
you have to identify what part of the system. If that person was tired or forgot, what part of the system didn't work for him not to be tired and for his brain not to be switched on? Did they have
Mm.
to rotate the shift? Did they have to do X, Y, Z? Did they have to slap their face 10 times and turn around before they open the door or check everything, right? You know, so it's never really down to human error. That's the easy one to fob off. I was Mary Ghostly, this happened. Yeah, I left my job be at home. Or, you know, they said hello. They were really nice to me. They were super
Mm.
polite. And
Mm.
then any contributing factors that go into it as well. And then once you establish those, list what corrections you put in place at that particular time. What did you do that wasn't part of the procedure or protocol that you had to do that stopped it or reduced it or neutralized whatever happened? And then afterwards, you'll be looking at, you know, what corrective actions and preventive measures are required for any future events that may happen like this or similar. And then what I would suggest is then if something happened like that, then communicate your actions to the other Gurdwara and communities around you,
Mm.
right? If it's happening in one place, what's to say, you know, look what's going on in Birmingham and Wolverhampton at the moment. You know, all
Mm.
those, you know, the rapes, the beat ups, you know, they're going
Mad.
on strong with those now, you know, reactive, but they're being preventive as well. They want to keep
Yeah.
that
Momentum.
ball
Yeah.
rolling, and they're
Yeah.
communicating it outside of their
Yeah.
vicinity, which is
Yeah. It's true.
fantastic.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. So next is, you can do this at home as well, is your CCTV and mass notification. So using either covert, so hidden cameras, or security that you cannot see, and your overt, so you clearly signposted speed cameras on the road. Go, look, there's a camera here. Smile. Smile. You're on camera. That sort of thing. In your car parks, your entrances, public places, around your perimeter as well. You want to make sure that your overt cameras clearly have everything off the perimeter. Doesn't matter if there's a woods behind you. Yeah, that's a fantastic place to come in from, right? Doesn't care if there's a sewage place there. You can still get in. That's what what makes the UK Special Forces so damn good is they do stuff that other people don't want to do. Well, that what makes other groups more harder to target, because they will do the nitty gritty, dirty stuff. Like, no one's going to do that, but they do, right? But that's how, you're thinking too safe with those sorts of things. Cameras also just act as a good deterrent for that. They do provide that evidence. Caught by, it's a little bit too late, but it is good if you need their faces or to plaster them around, send them around, which is good. And then having a good backup system. Who has access to backing it up? How often is it backed up with certain things? With those, I'll give you an example of that. So Teslas have cameras in. I banged someone's car, someone's Tesla, a couple of months ago. I went at 5 miles an hour. And they were saying to me, "Go, look, you've knocked my boot out of alignment." I was like, look, I don't want to go insurance yet. Let's go get a quote. Let's see this. I think you're telling me porcupines. That I went at 5 miles an hour. There was a loud bang, but there's not even a scratch or a dent on anyone's vehicle. There's nothing there. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So I'll use these two. So bumper came to there on his bumper. The boot was up there. Bang. So it's like, how does my bumper knock out your boot? And I was like, you know what? Take it through the insurance. Rang up the insurance straight away. And they're like, okay. And they're like, look, this does ruin your nose case bonus because you're coming up and telling us. I'm like, yes. But if he's trying to say I knocked out his boot, driving at 5 miles an hour, because he's not trying to, because he texts me going, I've got the footage. But he didn't show me the footage. Yeah. So having footage is key in how well it's backed up. So I believe Tesla, they back it every 24 hours. They put it on their server, and you can't get it. You have to get them. So that's why I was like, look, just take it to insurance. You're just going to be long about it. So next is having a good communication systems in this. Are you using apps? Are you using texts? An internal PA system, handheld radios. Are you going to go ham radio? Are you, what frequencies are you going to use? Also, do you even have to use them? We spoke about code words as well. Having those sorts of things in there. You see this all the time. I said this is basic stuff. When we got plenty of bun there in the Sangat that are on doors. They done clubs, they done pubs, right? They've been in really dangerous places. This is basic stuff for them, right? But it needs to come into this play as well, because their experience is going to be fantastic. They've got hands-on. They know how to control and restrain. They know how they can do certain things. In some places, some of these guys even go off and start their own CP companies, their own security companies as well. So having these people within the Sangat and getting them to come out, go, look, it could be server, pay for it, whatever. Get there, get down. If you're watching this and you do one of those companies, go down, roll it out. Yeah, you guys are the experts, right? With those sorts of things. And then, once you got those communication systems, like who do they go to? Do they go to the police? Do they go to the neighborhood watch? Do they go to a group? What sort of things? Is it fire? Is it an actual emerging threat? And then also having panic buttons. Where do you place these? You could place them by Maharaj. Someone's there, bang, you put it on Lungerhorde, main offices, anywhere where there is a high risk, and who do they then go to? And then we're looking at hardening the bar and the exits. You want to be looking on, how can we make that place safe and secure it quickly and evacuate it quickly as well, We know when it's Diwali, it's Gurpurab, Bandi Chor, Vaisakhi. Wow, the queues are huge,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
They're just crazy. You can't go. No one can get in and out. No one can. The chadar comes out, bang, and there's
No,
no
it's
space in the
true.
Langar hall. There's no space in the parking. Um, and it is. It's like, for me, taking a leaf out of the Vikings books when they came
Yeah.
first over, they'll attack on a Sunday because everyone was in church.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. You're sitting
Yeah,
ducks. You're sitting
yeah,
ducks. Yeah, and
yeah,
everyone's wearing their best clothes as
yeah,
well, so they don't really want to get dirty or running or anything like that. So it's like, right, what you actually, what's your profile? What are you willing to do in what you're willing to do as
yeah.
well? So these are like having certain locks on the doors. Can they be quickly put on? Are they strong? Do you have to put them on the inside? Do you put them on the outside? Sometimes you might want to
Mm.
lock someone in. Someone you might want to lock people out. Don't
Yeah,
let people out.
I get what you're saying.
And like, what's the accessibility as well? They should be, I believe, a crib 5. So crib 5 is like fire rating. Uh, so I might have the number wrong, but they will need a high fire rating to know that uh, they won't be set alight really easily. Also, would you want them blast proof? Would you want them
Mm.
ram proof? Yeah, so these sorts of things, and then there's no point having a blast proof or ram proof door when you got 2 solid doors here and you got 2 window panels on the side,
Yeah,
right? That
makes
can be
sense.
broken.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it's like, is that glass reinforced? How is it reinforced? What's the time it's going to take them to get in there, right? And what can they see? And all these sorts of things. Then having the fire exit clearly labeled. I
mm.
don't think I've been in the bar where I've seen the main entrance labeled as a fire exit. I've seen fire exits on the side, but the main one, there's very few for that actually have that. Go, look, this is the route. And then whilst you're doing that route, is there um, glow in the dark paint that shows you the route out?
Oh
Because
yeah,
in
that's a
yeah,
good idea, bro. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Because yeah, the lighting might go. Also about fires, we've got to make sure our fire equipment, the
yeah,
extinguishers, this that
are
are
those
they in
way clear?
I bet you they're not in date in most of
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They no longer work. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And this is all
they're there
part of
since
it
the
as well.
70s. They're there since the 70s, and the committee don't want to spend the money on new
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, it is right. Yeah, exactly. So this is what I'm saying. It's like they've got stuff, but what's the maintenance? There's no point having stuff, no point having
Yeah,
kit if you don't maintain it. You can have a Ferrari,
yeah.
but if you don't bloody
No,
drive that at least once a week, it's going to be rubbish if you drive it once every
no, yeah.
year.
I swear, I've seen back in the day. I've seen fire extinguishers, but they have been out of date, bro. No lie.
Yeah.
I've checked them just on the out of curiosity, and there was like 5 years out of date and shit.
Anyway, so I went to one. Um, I punched a fire alarm.
Yeah,
Right, I was annoyed, right, and I was like, you know what? Bang! I'm like, it's been cut.
yeah.
It's been cut. There's a fire alarm, and it doesn't even work.
No way.
Yeah. So it's like, this will say this is general maintenance
Yeah, someone
of
needs to
the
take that. We need a. I think a Gurdwara does need a health and safety role. The person that's responsible and
yeah.
start doing all the checks, annual checks, monthly checks, and just start going around checking out the wiring, any risks and health assessment. Like internally, we don't need a Gordon to come and like
Nah.
penalize us, but we need someone internally doing it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Checking the stuff
exactly.
out.
It's like they all get the was it the food hygiene certificate level 3 for the Lunga Hall, right? Because they need that, right?
Yeah,
But then, yeah, same thing again. It's like, are your certs in check for it? Because technically, you should have those in place, right? Or when someone comes over, they are all charities. They are all registered charities. So
true.
why isn't the charity governing body? Why aren't they adhering to those sorts of policies? But that's another conversation.
Patient, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
next is like having vehicle barriers. If possible, can you have physical barriers, bollards, plant pots again, large planters to prevent vehicles from being driven into the entrance
Yeah.
when there's or a crowded time. It could be it's a common tactic. We know this,
Yeah.
right?
And the
Just
synagogue, that's what
imagine.
happened, didn't it? Just that happened. But I think they had barriers. He couldn't get into the car park, did he?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Can you quickly put them up? Because it would be well, the only real way it's going to happen is like, was it in Wolverhampton? The guy came out with a bulldozer, right?
Oh yeah,
That was a big piece of kit.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
that was
Yeah.
a big piece of kit, right?
West
You could
Midlands
have
is
got
going mad right now, bro. Rapes every day, stabbings every day.
fucking
West Midlands, like it's
bulldozers.
like GTA, bro. It's like a movie right now, bro.
Right. And they
I
had the
think,
fireworks as well.
yeah, I
It
think,
is.
bro. People are coming off the benefits. They want to go jail, bro. They're just finding it too hard out here, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll wrap that bit up there, and then I'll go into
Yeah,
like the sort of first aid stuff as well. You know, it's a place of high traffic. You know, also
yeah,
we touched bases earlier on our actually community, the health of our community. And it's just like, you know, it's non-negotiable. First aid and those sort of medical emergencies, we shouldn't be second guessing it. We shouldn't be expecting, oh yeah, you know, we're Asians, we've got doctors in our, you know, in our community. There's bound to be a doctor here. You know, they're not going to have their kit on them. Also,
yeah.
so it's like, you know, what are you actually carrying? You know, do you have ice packs? Do you have splints? Do you have tourniquets? Do you have tacking? Do you have seals? Do you have burn kits? You know, those,
Yeah.
you know, in the Gurdwara, they got massive karais full of hot air. So I'm going to pull on my experience. Well, from my history here, it's I was 6 months at the time, 6 months years old. My mum was in the Lunga hall, and she was frying, and the karai spilled over her. They
Oh,
totally burnt
yeah.
her skin. She had to have her skin grafted. I was 6 months old. I didn't get to have her back into the house until I was about one or yeah, what was it? So 12, about 14, 16 months old.
Wow.
And then my sister, who's 18 months older than me, like we were speaking the other a couple of months ago, and you know, he was talking about, oh yeah, you know, how your past trauma affects you, it makes you into who you are. You know,
Yeah.
how are you working on it? You know, how are you resolving this? And she's like, yeah, she's like, you know what? She's like, I can still hear those screams. I can hear the screams of mum. I'm like, fuck. You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy. You know, with that, you know, she's good. Mum is resilient. She's gotten through a lot. But
That
yeah,
is
you know,
hard,
yeah,
bro.
and there's never, and you know what? There's no burn kits put in there. There's nothing, nothing in there. And I was like, the good one. I was like, wow, you know, what are you supposed to do? You know, some things are just accidents waiting to happen. And he said reactive rather than being proactive. Why? Because it costs money. You know,
Yeah.
it, you know, it could be the other one of having an EpiPen, right?
Yeah.
So how more? You know, I see loads of kids carrying their bags, but what about they can't access it? They're supposed to carry two at a time. What about one fails? You're at the Gurdwara, they got nuts or something like that. Someone gives them a bounty because they're given celebrations for prashad, and they eat that or get touched with it or buy something else, and they go into anaphylactic shock.
Ah, that's a good idea. And inhalers, then, isn't it? If we're going down that route
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Well, yeah, at least one, too,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's
Yeah.
good. I know. I've never thought of this stuff, bro. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's like then what are clear protocols? As I said earlier, you should have at least one dedicated first aider on site all day, every day. Those Gunny are there all day long.
Mm.
You know, why can't we get them trained up in the basic stuff?
100%, bro. Good idea, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They can do it. They can do it. They don't have to hire out no help. Put them on the course, do it. And what's that? You put that on the Gunny CV. You know, he's going to go to the next Gurdwara going, oh yeah, you know what? I just can't do all these rags, and I like doing this part, but I also can do this for the Gurdwara.
Nice.
Perfect.
Cool. The gun is always there, like you said, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
they
if he
they
knows
are first
first
line of
aid,
defence. They should
yeah,
be our first line of defence. They're first there for the
yeah.
Lungan, but
A lot of them are, innit? Unfortunately, they're so big, innit? But that's because
yeah,
they're not moving about, they're not eating healthy, you know?
yeah, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I was going to wrap up there. So there is more
Yeah,
that I could discuss. As I said, you know, if you get the PDF, I'm just going to go through some of the drills. Like literally go through them. If
yeah,
there is any of these drills that you guys are listening to, or even yourself, Mal, that you want me to go into further detail
yeah,
with
yeah.
as well, I'm sure you got questions because I pinged it over to you the other day with
Yeah,
that.
no, it's good,
But
man. I've read it and I think we're going to give it to the Sangha. Just we'll go through it now. It's quite self-explanatory, but some of the stuff in there is like not your average person ain't gonna think of it really. It's someone you've sat down and thought about it, and it needs to get out there. And that's why I said, let's do this live.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know, the first drill that we sort of got on this is a suspicious package or unattended item drill. We know that people do go up when they give an offering when they're doing the mutta. How quickly does that get picked up, or is there something in the where you're keeping the shoes or anything like that? You know, I've seen loads of stuff being left around, and I just leave it there as well. You know, I am to blame as well
Yeah.
because I don't know who it is. I don't know whose it is. And some stuff has been left there for years. And so is someone going to collect it? It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, so looking at that sort of stuff, you know, practicing those sorts of drills. The next is then you know, security and lockdown drills for the barb side. So in an event of something that happens, if there's an intruder or someone's trying to gain access to their could be for the Gorlok as well. So understanding what they're trying to do, you know, what sort of drills and scenarios you can drill out from there. The next one is I've seen this a few times, not the drill, but I have actually seen this happen. You're in the Lunga Hall and there's an incident and people are getting loud and rowdy with each other, you know, and then people have to step in and go, look, take it outside. It's like, you know, it happens at weddings, it happens at functions or whatnot, you know, oh, you know what, you took the last jalebi, you know, that was for me. You know, it's something stupid. You can play, it's a high traffic area, or it could be in the kitchen. Someone's taking Lungard. You know, people, you know, we get in a lot of these committees are like, they're signposting, you can no longer take Lungard until this hour, right? Because they was taking it to work or so, or taking it to their builders. So, so there's a lot of stuff that you can do there with your team as well. The next one is, this one was very, very interesting. We do this at school, we do this at work, we do this at university, we do this at all places we go to. Evacuations, points and children accountability drills. So how many of these Gurdwara have Punjabi schools on a Sunday? What happens if there's a fire? What happens if there's an intruder? What happens if what's the lockdown drills? Right? After there is an active shooter or some or intruder like that. So what do they know what to do? You know, so they need to have clear items, clear things, and these drills, they go through them. You know, you can modify them in any which way you need to. Every facility is different. This is just a basic SOP that you can just pick up, go, aha, you know what, there's this. It doesn't cover everything. It's not supposed to cover everything because of the nature of the information as well. So the next one is like entry points. You know, what do you do with them? You know, people breaching the basic entry point. This particular one we talk about, you know, you got the greeter there. It could be, you know, me and you, we're going there, right? You're there. You're hobbling along on your crutches. So the Sevadar opens the door for you.
Yeah.
Greet you in, Baji, can I help you?
Yeah.
I'm dressed up, you know, I'll come in maybe 30 seconds while he's with you. His eyes are on you. His full attention is on you. I sneak past. I go do something.
Yeah.
Right? And then I duck out. And it's just like, geez, what's happened here? Right? He got distracted. That's us doing a deliberate entry on that one.
Okay, so
Yeah, and then we start.
We're just training these people up and all this sort of stuff, really, isn't it? They need to get trained.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's like if you do security, these are basic things that you would have been doing. But back then, well, yes and no, depending on where you worked, who you worked with, you would be doing certain things like this. You know, nowadays, it's high risk being a door supervisor in Tesco or Sainsbury's. Those are high risk areas. People aren't really going to pubs and clubs like how they used to do. People, you know, you see those videos where they're just all, you know, people are coming in masked up. Well, not even masked up now. They don't care. They got their bag for life. Take the fags, take the tobacco, take the alcohol, take the vapes. What are you going to do? 2 free security bond there, just there, standing there like lemons.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so we got these sorts of things. So next, afterwards that we go into some penetration drills. So they're really good. So these penetration drills I've listed here are more physical ones. However, the Gurdwara should be doing cyber security penetration drills as well. They've got a lot of information. A lot of information. They carry their accounts. You know, they're a charity. They don't always
Yeah.
disclose how much money they got in the bank account as well. But if they got it all on an open cloud system or an easy to be hacked system, even if it's
Mm,
hardwired, you're giving away the information. You're giving away bookings. Someone takes a list of, well, you know, there's this wedding here, there, and everywhere. Okay, cool. Who's getting married? You know who's
mm,
getting married. You
mm,
can also get where those people live. What
mm.
happened a couple of years ago over in Southall is they were a certain demographic were hitting Asian houses because they at weddings because they knew they had gold.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. I didn't think of that
Oh,
one, bro.
oh, yeah, right. Yeah, this is how
Yeah.
I thought. You know, you have to sort of be thinking like these people. If you're not thinking like these people, when you're saying, you know, people are soft, it's like, yeah, you can be soft, but if you're thinking like them, you know, you've got these preventative measures, right? Because the thing that you're just sitting ducks. You know, it only takes another Nigerian prince to put that scam in, right? So, so you know what cybersecurity is like hacking also the cameras, seeing stuff there, right? It could also be, you know, we are living in a crazy time with AI. What's stopping someone from hacking into the system, taking footage, getting AI then to create some messed up video and saying, look, I was abused here. This is what
Mm,
happened. I want to see the footage. They've redone the footage. Boom, here it is. It's like, well, it's on your system. It's on your
yeah.
system, right? It's a messed up
Mm,
world we're living in. There's messed up people out there. People who
yeah,
think worse
100%.
than me. People who, and,
Yeah.
you know, so yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so when it comes to doing these penetration drills, you know, the benefits of them, it exposes your blind spots. It's validating your procedures and protocols. It's improving reaction times. You're testing your physical measures, and then you're reinforcing your training with it as well. So you can have a mixture of soft penetration drills and hard penetration drills as well. So they're
Mm,
testing the social and procedural measures from there. We can have the unattended items as well. Next one is gaining access into areas where you shouldn't be.
mm,
This one, you know, people do this all the time. You know, you go to a stadium, can you get in? You know, you go to a party, and it's just like, okay, I'm not allowed. You know, for whatever reason, I haven't allowed you back in. It's like, can I get back in?
mm, mm.
Right? You find a, you know, a back door, also, or a window. You slip in as well. You know, it's just like not even that. You know, that sort of mindset. It could be someone rocks up. They say that they're here as an electrician. They're doing plumbing. They're doing AC work.
Mm,
I need access to over here. You know, I'm rebooting your servers. They went down, right? So, you know, even people who come from a place of authority, are they really from a place of authority as well? What
mm,
vetting systems were put in place with those? When it comes to like the hard penetration, this is where we're testing physical and the procedural measures like the exit doors integrity, uh,
mm,
depending on what you bought and where you bought it from. If you bought it from a good credible place, they will
mm,
tell you how long it takes to break in
mm,
using theirs,
mm,
provided it's got XYZ on it, onto the
mm,
windows, the doors, the barriers, and all those sorts of things. And then if you do want to test it, tell them, go, look, you know, I want to test this door out. How can I test this out? Obviously, we don't want to smash up our door, but can you make a replica of it also? Or can someone make a replica of it as well? You know, happened in 1982, wasn't it? They made a replica of Harmandir Sahib and Akal Takht, and they trained their drills. So, you know, why can't we build replicas to do our training? Can we do these breaches as well? The next is also, you know, um, the speedy response. The same thing again, safeguarding the barb is a key point. If anyone
mm,
goes in, knew when I was a lot younger, what was happening around our area was the
mm.
Gorlok was always being attacked. People knew the Gorlok it had money in, we can
Yeah.
attack it. You know,
Yeah.
safety
Up
measures
and direct.
yeah, safety measures have been put in place now. Now they're really big. They're bolted into the ground. They're not as
Yeah.
easy to access, so they'll just come in and they'll just bang on well, they'll knock off another money box that's hanging off the wall or something like that. So, you know, you're there. Are they going in? What are they going there to do? Are they going in there to cause trouble? Are they, well, it's sort of who's actually going in there. So let's say will these protocols then be used with people who are against anti-Sikhs and non-Kurdish, right? What sort of protocols? Like we've had a few issues here, yeah, where there's been like 20, 30 Bunbear rocking up to people's weddings, right? And it's like, how does that then play out into this as well? If we're going to secure the bar, who's allowed entry? You can't deny entry, but if there is a credible threat, you can. What is a credible threat? And then how does that then affect the protocols and the system and the Gurdwara and the Sangat? So it's like, okay, what's that? Also, there's stuff that you can do within the confined spaces, intrusion drills as well, whether they're physical or non-physical sorts of things. People going in, sweeping rooms to clearing them, going, yes, you know, they've been cleared. This could be an event of a fire. So also pressure testing the exteriors, windows, doors, understanding the timing, time pressures by bypassing locks. You know, with me, I will say, yeah, so I've got my own lock picking kit. Or I had pick locks. You never know. I might need unpick my lock here. Yeah, I might need to get in for whatever reason. You can buy these. You can get them off Amazon. They're only 30, 40 quid. And you go through, it's like, what bolts do you have? Can you get it through a deadbolt or anything like this? It's how easy can one of your people unlock your door? Yeah? You know, this is your people doing it to you, going, look, I'll go in here. You don't know, why you want to smash open the door for? If I can open it, you know, why do you want to leave evidence that I was there?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah? You know, it's better not to be seen and heard sometimes with those. You know, and how quickly can it be done? You know, how well did the lighting system happen? Did someone pick up on the camera? There's someone, you know, entrance, at our Charlie entrance, you know, it took us 30 minutes to realise there was someone there. They got in, right? So what goes on there? Then when it comes to your fence and your perimeter, it's like, okay, you know, and even your AC units, the gates, what sort of hedges you can do. So as I mentioned before, it's like, what is the approach going towards the entrances? And also, what is your approach going to the perimeters? What covers and concealments do you have? What time does, at what distance and ranges does the lighting go off if it's on automated systems or motion sensors? Same thing with the cameras. What blind spots are there? If you can know those, you know, you can really make your system a lot more better and harder to penetrate. So those are some of the things that we cover in there. And the main thing is, as I said, we're here. I hope that you found this information useful. And this information is in the PDF. There is a bit more in there as well. It only touches the surface level. There are so many more deeper layers for this. The layers are going to get even deeper on your location and your venues. So before, a lot of the Gurdwara used to be in towns. Now they're getting into the trading estates, industrial estates. So same thing again, what are the logistics there? What threats are there? If there is a societal breakdown or civil unrest, what actually goes on? You know, it's going to be easier to go to a town than it is to a trading estate, because what other heat does a trading estate bring in if there's civil unrest? If you know what goes on in that trading estate, what other buildings are there, you can utilize them. What security systems have they got as well? So also as mentioned, these drills can be modified. They can be trained to meet your needs. You're not limited by the list that's here. And if anyone who is watching this or will be watching this, you need any further information, consultation, or training within this PDF, for anything mentioned within this PDF, give me a shout, man. They can download it free from my website at warriorsma.com. You can find it on there in the online programs. And let's stand together and let's actually practice the concept of Iqta. right? You know, let's start putting in those preventative measures.
100%, bro.
You know,
Prevention, that's the key word.
yeah, let's put those in. Let's stop acting like we are lions. We are now kittens again. We have
Yeah.
to grow. We have to relearn.
You
You
relearn,
know,
yeah.
we have to relearn and redo.
You have to earn your stripes, man.
Yeah,
Earn them
exactly.
stripes.
Earn the stripes. Earn
Man,
the
they're
stripes.
walking around like they got stripes. They got shkitani.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
our ancestors did it, bro. They done it. They done their thing.
Yeah,
Now,
and there are
now,
people in the front that have earned their stripes doing this
yeah,
already. You know,
yeah,
they need to be utilized. You know, it doesn't matter if they're a munna, they're a criminal, they're whatnot,
yeah.
they're smoking weed, getting drunk here, there, whatever. They got a skill set, and if
Mm,
we look at our history, you know, we had. I always like Bidhi Chand. His story always enlightens me. You know, when he met Guru Arjan Dev Ji, he's a very shady character, and his shady skills helped the Panth.
mm-hmm,
Same thing with people helping Guru Gobind Singh Ji. You know, some of them weren't Sikhs, some of them were mercenaries, so they were paid help.
mm-hmm.
You know, we have to pay for. If we haven't got the resources in our own community, let's go get them and let's get trained up into them and bring it in.
Yeah, no, it's wicked. It's amazing. Talk a lot, covered house and Gurdwara safety. The PDF, you give me the link. I'm gonna put it in my YouTube, put it in my bio. For
I'll
this,
give you. I'll give you the link to the website. So I've got it on my website. So you do have to put your email in because, as I said, there's information I put in there. There's a lot for and against here with this. So keep making sure that this stays in our sangat. Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
good.
Yeah.
No, yeah, yeah.
So
So just say your website out so they can go to it and the name of the article as well.
yes. I will. Yes, I'll give you the link. It's on my bio anyway. It's on top link on my Insta bio, so you can
Yeah,
link that.
wicked.
And then also I'll put a comment in this live when it goes on my page on where they can get it from.
No, wicked. So I just want to add. Look, we know we teach the kids Gatka, we teach the kids Shastra Vidya. So in the Gurdwara, there should always be a good Gatka kit, 30 sharp Gurpanne, where the kids can practice or the youth can practice. A lot of our people do a lot of hockey, don't they? There's a hockey team in every town, so there needs to be a lot of hockey sticks in the Gurdwara. So stuff like that, you know, always make sure our Shastra Vidya and our hockey teams are doing good, if you get what I mean. You know what I mean?
Even our Shastras,
Yeah,
when we do Mutta, should be tiyar. They should
yeah,
be. Yeah,
yeah.
there's no point looking pretty. We've got too
Nah.
many pretty things in this month. Some things don't need to be pretty,
Nah.
right?
Sometimes you need to get gritty in it. Not pretty, but
Yeah,
gritty.
yeah,
Gritty, pretty.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's like right, okay, you know, because there is, you know, that's a perfect place, in my opinion. You know, when we're doing mutta, the way which I see we do mutta, is first of all we're bowing down, we give an offering. That's the world we live in. That's a 3D Maya world. We're here. Here's the money offering. You know, here's something I've given you. Next thing on the level are the Shastras. You know, these are my P's. You know, we start saying Shastanama, Askepana, Kandok Rektup, Abdir, Ye Hamari Piri, Ye Hamare Pir. Right?
Yeah.
So you know, they are our saints. They are our physical saints. They're the embodiment of the Guru. That's sub-law. That is there. Then above the Shastras, it's just there. It's a speech to speech. That is there. And so that's the way I see it when we do mutta. And it's like, look, we got that Maya, we got that, you know, use it to our advantage. Then use our feed. Yeah, because that's what we want. We want to be in that realm of no realm or every realm and any realm,
Yeah.
right? You know, you know, whether you're looking for mukti, whether you're looking to come back and fight a bigger fight in your next life, with that. So, you know, whatever your take on why we're here, who we're here for, what your hukum is, you know, you've been born a Sikh for a reason.
Yeah, 100%, bro. No, it's wicked. Yeah, willing to wrap it up. I was gonna get Monty Sikh Army to join and give his little things as he's joined. No, he ain't
Well,
joined.
he's on.
He's on, yeah, but I sent him an invite because they're doing a lot of work at the Gurdwara, the street
Yes.
patrols. would have been good to get him on as well, and because he's done security background and
Yes,
he's
yeah.
actually teaching. They're teaching at Great Bar Gurdwara now, martial arts. But he's disappeared. He's gone camera shy or something. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't got his sort of pug on in it sometimes. And I was
Yeah,
chilling at
exactly.
these
Just a
times, did it?
good tease out.
Pug half out. Yeah, that's he's not joining. I'll get him try one more time. It'd be good to get him on if he comes on. But he probably hasn't got his pug on.
But yeah,
Any
so
luck?
have you got any questions or anything like that?
Nah, bro. It's
Or
so
something
see
that
when
you
you're
would
saying
see it as?
when you're saying it, it's common sense, but common sense ain't not common sense no more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you said it, I was thinking, oh, I should have known this. I should have known that. But then that GSN lyrics of the defibrillator or whatever
Defense,
that
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
defibrillator.
it's all common sense, but it's not common sense. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
There's no
It's
common
like
sense
when
in this day and age. Common
yeah,
sense
but it's like
doesn't
it's
exist.
yeah, it's like you know when someone does an invention and you think, shit, I could have thought of that. Like you probably did think of it, but you didn't think to invent it, or you think, shit, it's so simple, it's such a simple design. Why didn't I make the money out of that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had that feeling in it when you've seen
Well,
something and
not me, but usually my missus always comes out with these ideas. Let's do this, let's do that. I was like, you're the idea person. I was like, I can't action this. I'm not that good at actioning some of the ideas. But yeah, some of the stuff like she said, it's like, 2-3 years later, I was like, well, we should have.
no, wicked Joe? I think Monty's not going to be able to come on
Yeah,
now.
no
Probably got his buzz
worries.
half off, man. Take care, bro. Respect.
No worries. Thanks very
Send me the
much. Hope
links,
everyone
man.
enjoyed
Respect.
it. Any questions?
No.
Give me a shout.
Ah, then, brother. Respect, bro. Have a good
I'll
night.
take care.
What, cause I